Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the Soul Family Zoom. So I know some of you are still kind of just letting yourselves in. Just come on in, sit down, make yourselves comfortable, relax, just settle down, because I know for a fact that this week has been very intense. Last week has been very intense, and tonight we are gathering together to have a look at a subject which is an actual favourite of mine. It really is. The subject of soul families, how we're all interconnected, how all of the monadic groups intersect, are all interconnected with each other. The oversouls now. It's funny actually, because I did a video recently on my Monday. One of my meditation Mondays was the monadic invocation, which we will do together later on. And immediately it brought about some questions. What is the monad, and what is some of the meanings within it? And it suddenly occurred about how important and how well tied in that particular subject was with this event tonight. And I booked and kind of like the information for the event came through before that. And at the time, I didn't realize that the two were so involved with each other, but the information that's come through for it is actually, they all harmonize very well together. So I want to talk about soul families tonight and our connections on the spiritual pathway, our connections in what we might regard as our current lives, which are intricately connected with what some of us might describe as the 3D world and the 5D world. We're in a very, very unique place at the moment. We're in a position at the moment where we have access to multiple dimensional spaces. Okay, so we've come from a third dimensional vibration, which has existed for a very, very long time. You've probably, if you've been following me before, heard me talking about it on numerous occasions, to shift from 3D to 5D. Now, so when you and I and everybody else tuning in, and whoever else might watch later on via video, incarnated on this planet, we would have incarnated in a third dimensional vibration. We would have incarnated with a very preset life agreement with the people that enter our lives at the point of birth, and the immediate connections that stretch out from that point onwards. Tied in with those soul connections are a lot of family karma, a lot of lineage karma, a lot of karmic agreements that we've made to experience up to and beyond our point of awakening. And this was very much the set tapestry for incarnating in 3D. That's how it rolled. That's how the school worked. So we would incarnate on planet Earth in our physical bodies, not knowing what on earth was going on once we've actually stood up on our 2 feet and started toddling around. Very little idea of why we're here, even apart from the fact that we're immediately stuffed into a system. We've got a family around us. We make friends along the way. We have siblings. And later on in life, we meet people, we make partnerships, we get jobs, and all of these interactions formed our social, family, friendship, and all of these other structures that we've been so acquainted with all the way through the third dimension. Now, I saw something very clear happen on the cosmic moment on the 21st of December 2012. Again, another date that you will have heard me mention many, many times. All of a sudden, the planetary vibration shifted overnight. The end of the Atlantean experiment, which had been going on for 260,000 years, and the final 10,000 years of it, finished on the 21st of December 2012. And overnight, we were launched into the 20-year window that we're in at the moment. We're almost halfway through it now. We're 9 years into it. And from that date onwards, I started to notice not just because I was involved directly with people on the spiritual pathway, but just simply from observations around me, that the dynamics of relationships was suddenly beginning to change very rapidly. Now, it was about 2013 that I launched into the spiritual pathway that I'm on now. I went from learning to teaching. So I accumulated all of this knowledge and all of this book reading and all of this study and all of this fascination with the entire spiritual realms, the angels, the crystals, 4 years intensive of Atlantis. And all of a sudden I was in a position where I was presenting the information that I'd accumulated and that I was beginning to get through myself. And one of the first things that I saw, and one of the first things that was presented to me in my physical reality, was how relationships suddenly began to change with people. Now, from 2012 onwards, and probably a little bit before, those of you that were aware of the cosmic moment and the build-up for that would have felt it coming. You'd have felt 2010 would have been intense, 2011 would have been intenser, and then 2012, it felt at the time a little bit like letting off a box of fireworks and the fireworks not really doing what they should have done. We were all expecting, those of us that knew what was occurring, the cosmic moment, the shift, the great shift, the shift that had been prophesized on the Mayan calendar. We were all expecting like this drama, these fireworks. You know, the newspapers were even reporting that we were going to wake up on the 22nd of December and there wasn't going to be any electricity or food in the shops or anything like that, or all the computers were going to crash. It was prophesized by the Mayans as being the end of the world. But due to the way that the Mayan seers used to see their prophecies, they didn't see any further from that point. And there's a very good reason for that. When they cast their minds into the future, when they looked forwards, when they were looking into the future to see what was going to occur, what the timeline of humanity was, they couldn't see much further than the 21st of December 2012 because there was a complete change of vibration. Okay, so from that point onwards, it began to be the work in progress that we are experiencing. Now, that occurred simply because the vibration began to rise very rapidly on a daily basis on the planet. A lot of us had been activated onto our soul missions before the cosmic moment, but afterwards was when people really started to integrate, to engage in this process, to start connecting on social media and really rolling forwards with what we're doing now. So that leads me to the first point of the night. What happens to the people around you when you raise your vibration? And I think when I say this, most of you already know the answer to it, but there's also quite a few of you out there who are just kind of joining the ascension party. You might have not been on the pathway for very long, and the dynamics of relationships, when you start going through the shifts that we are all experiencing, can be very challenging. Even when you're way down the pathway, even when you've been doing this maybe all of your life, or at least 2/3 of your life, and you've dedicated all of your time and your energy and your focus to this ascension process, when you raise your vibration rapidly, everything around you begins to change. Now, it's not so much what happens to the people around you when you raise your vibration, it's what happens to you, okay? So imagine you've moved through a shift, you've moved through a gateway. It might be your first, or it might be your 19th, it doesn't matter. All the way along this ascension pathway, you will move through gateways. You will accumulate knowledge, you'll go through a set of initiations, and all of a sudden, there will be a build-up or a peak or a crescendo. And when that occurs, it's almost like a grenade goes off in the reality around you. And your shift in vibration resets the parameters of everyone and everything around you. Now, it doesn't, like I said just a minute ago, it doesn't matter whether you've been on this ascension pathway for a long time, or whether you've actually, and you're expecting it, you know the drill, or whether this is the first time it's occurred to you. When your vibration shifts, which all of you are shifting at the moment, you've been shifting solidly, rapidly for the past 9 years. But that has been due to a planetary process. If you were doing it before, you probably did it deliberately, and you were kind of working very, very hard on it. Now we're in the cosmic flow. We've thrown ourselves into the ascension wave, and we are on an ascending planet. So those of us that are receptive to it rise with the frequencies that are available to us. So it's almost like a natural upgrade. All of this is happening to us, and it's not a manual process anymore. It's automatic. So it's almost like you sign your ascension agreement or your contract or whatever you want to call it. You step onto the pathway. You realize that this is going to be your future. You might not even know where you're going or what is involved with it. But the first thing that changes around you will be the dynamics of the people. Okay. Now it can be friends and family. It can be partners. It can be people that you work with, or it can be souls that you've been friends with all of your life, people you went to school with, people that you grew up with. All of a sudden, your vibration shifts. Okay. Your vibration shifts, you go through a change, like it's almost like the way to describe it would be the snake rebirthing, shedding its skin and stepping forward refreshed. You are no longer the same. You are not the same person, okay? Now, like I said, this might be the first time it's occurred, or it might be the 19th, it might be the 20th. You might be constantly going through this. I know I am. And every time this occurs, every time you push forwards, every time you step further up that ascension ladder, it creates a change in the dynamics around you. Now, one of the most intensive parts of this shift from 3D to 5D, and one of the laws that we're finding, or the sets of regulations that we're finding that we're having to abide by, is the fact that we can't take the lower frequency stuff with us, okay? We can't take the baggage that we've been carrying for our lifetimes. We can't take that karmic baggage. We can't take that family baggage. And most of you have realized by now that it stops with you, okay? You are the soul who have incarnated on this planet from the highest realms. You might not even be aware of it, but you are an ascended master in the making. And you will have chosen to basically clear the end of that lineage, so all of you can move smoothly into a higher vibration. But one of the intricacies about it, and this is what I started to see in 2013 and 2014 on a regular basis, is that as soon as that change begins to occur, it's almost like all of these old connections fall away. Okay, this seems to be the pattern. I don't think any of us predicted it. I don't think any of us are particularly comfortable with it. But when you look at it from a logical point of view, you can see exactly why it happens, okay? You raise your vibration and you change. The agreements for your pathway, for your process, alter. And the people in your life around you who are no longer resonant with that vibration, immediately you are at odds with that frequency. Now, this is where it becomes very difficult when you're married, when you're working with people, when you've got lifelong friendships, and all of these things. And I noticed people, really good, solid, hard-working people on the ascension pathway, who are just simply here to make who are still, I'm not talking past tense here, I'm talking about the now moment. We're here to make the world a better place. Okay, we're here to move it from 3D to 5D. So why are we suddenly finding that everyone around us is either actively rejecting us in this particular period or completely falling away? And I saw it happening again and again, but particularly in 2014. Jobs were changing, partnerships were changing, family structures were changing, and all of a sudden this seemed to accelerate. It seemed with every wave of energy that came in, with every ascension upgrade, this seemed to be a rolling ball process. And most of the time, I wouldn't say all of the time, it would then lead to the second part of this process, and it would lead to something which I've identified and I mentioned in the wording for the workshop tonight. What is soul isolation, and why and when does it occur? Okay, so what is soul isolation? It's not a term that I've used particularly frequently, but it's something which I've been witnessing again and again. And like I'm watching some of the comments coming through, bless your hearts. You have experienced this, or you are currently experiencing it, this breakdown, this kind of like basically this demolition of the old structures that we were very kind of keyed into, we were very corded into, they were safe, even though they might not have been comfortable, or they might not have been productive, or they might have been quite toxic. We knew that, okay, but they were the structures that we had around us. Once we've taken this ascension pathway, once we've moved into it, we can no longer bear witness to anything which is not serving us. We cannot be involved with these things that do not serve us on a truth level, on a heart level, on a sacral level. And so inevitably, the lower frequency dynamics, or the lower frequency relationships, painful though it is, begin to disintegrate. And from what I can see, they don't do it. It doesn't happen with a very good grace. It just happens. It's a demolition. And from what I can perceive from it, the level of pain that is experienced by us on the soul level is usually due to the level of resistance that we feel to the experience. If we don't know it's coming, if we don't know what's going on, that level of resistance is going to be very high naturally, because we feel rejected, we feel harmed, hurt, like nobody wants us, or what have we done wrong, kind of thing. And the truth of the matter is we've done nothing wrong, but what we've done is changed our dynamics, we've changed our vibration, and we've changed the initial soul contract with which we came in with. Now, this happens on a regular basis. Okay, we change and update our soul contracts depending on how far we're moving forward with our soul mission, how we're doing with it, and what we need to surround us. So that moves me into the part about soul isolation. So first of all, if it's not enough to kind of lose this structure of comfort, or what we would have considered support previously, once that starts to disintegrate and we've been left on our own, and we're already feeling quite raw, and we're already feeling like we're vulnerable, and we need that assistance, we want that familiarity back again, because it's what we knew. And instead of having that, we are put into what I've seen as, it's almost like a tunnel or an incubation period. And that is the next phase of what I see in this. It's almost like a 3-part period: the destruction of the old, then we move into the soul isolation. Now, the soul isolation can go on for quite a while, and this is probably what I would regard as the hardest testing ground. The demolition part, I'm going to use the word demolition, the disintegration of our old relationship structures can happen very quickly. So that can just tumble down overnight, or it might take a longer period if people are very kind of linked in or keyed into those particular setups and circumstances. And from what I've seen, it happens in both ways. It can either happen very quickly and very abruptly, or it can be quite a long, strung out process, really drawn out. And the next phase of it is the isolation. So the period of the isolation is where you and I are kind of all left on our own. And there's a lot of people that I've connected with over the years, and particularly at the moment, who are feeling this way. And it's not just because of the way that the planet has moved forwards and the way that the world is at the moment. That's a totally different story altogether. The soul isolation occurs where, and you can still be surrounded by these by people in your life, but they no longer vibrate with you. They're no longer on your resonance. And so therefore you feel alone. You feel that nobody understands you. Don't feel that you've got anybody to reach out and talk to. And it's one thing having social media, but a lot of people have been very used to having physical support. And at this moment, so many of us are in this period of soul isolation. Okay, now soul isolation is an initiation. It's an initiation of the heart, and it's an initiation of the sacral. And uncomfortable though it is, it's a necessary one. And the reason why it's necessary is because when we are on this ascension pathway, we are tested for our abilities to do our jobs properly. Okay. And the first question we ask is, why do I need that support? Why do I need people to bolster me, to improve my confidence, to tell me all of the things that I should already know about myself? And so therefore, the guides, the ascended masters, the councils, all of the other people that you work with on the ascension pathway who've set you up and brought you to where you are now will be standing back and witnessing how you are responding to this period at the moment. And it's very similar to the one that I've described in other workshops, which are called Going Dark, which if you've really kind of signed yourself up for going through the mill, then they might be happening side by side. So you could be having this period of soul isolation occurring, and you could also be having something called Going Dark, which is where your guides and your angels also step back and just let you almost marinate in your own space to see how you respond to it. And at the other end of it, what we are presented with is a light worker on the spiritual pathway who is comfortable with their own space, can provide for themselves what is needed for the ascension pathway. And mostly that boils down to self-love. A lot of this is actually down to how much do we love ourselves? How much do we trust ourselves? How much faith do we have in our own abilities to cope with what is going on in our lives? But it is like you say, yeah, it is a tough testing ground. It's a very challenging one. But the beautiful part about it is once acceptance has been brought into the circumstances, once a commitment to oneself has been made, the whole isolation period ends. Okay, so you've got the breakdown of the old, then it's almost like into the incubation period, into the isolation period. And then the other side of it moves into what we are going to be looking at, which is the wonderful results or basically the treat at the other end of it all, where we start connecting or reconnecting to people who are on our vibration. Okay. And again, a lot of you will have moved through this initial period of soul isolation. You will have moved through the kind of like the disintegration of your previous relationships and your setups. And you will be now, thanks to, you know, like I'll always say, bless social media. A lot of us are complaining about Facebook, about, you know, like, and yeah, it's extremely heavily censored. And a lot of us are feeling very kind of like that our rights of free speech are being taken away. But look how it's all connected us. Look how we are together tonight, talking globally and connecting our energies in globally via the power of what we're doing. And I've said it before, it couldn't have backfired more if they created social media to basically watch people and gain information on them. What they did was give us all a platform for a global wake up. Thank you. That's brilliant. So we've all been able to share information, talk and communicate and connect with each other all over the world. And it's been absolutely amazing. So whether you are in the initial part of this at the moment, and my hand is on my heart, and it genuinely goes out to you if you are experiencing this breakdown in family, friendship, partnership dynamics. Some of you don't necessarily go through it. You might have a little bit of aggro or a little bit of grief from your family, you know, like especially when one of the biggest things that I've seen is coming out of the spiritual closet. Okay, we're all very comfortable in our classes together. I used to see it on a Saturday and a Sunday when I was presenting live classes, either in the UK or if I traveled abroad. And we'd get together in a group. It doesn't matter whether there's 10 of us or it didn't matter whether there's 250. We're all there for a unified purpose, and we would all act accordingly. We'd be like, great, this is our safe space. We can be what we want to be now. But in the last 2 years or so, there's been an increased push or a necessity for us to actually start wearing that master cloak in our everyday life. And that is one of the things that tends to trigger, in my opinion, the families the most, or the partners the most. It's, you know, we are now required almost to be wearing our hearts or our crystals on our sleeves. So the days of kind of unifying on a Saturday and a Sunday, having the most wonderful time in each other's company, and then going back to the drabberies of Monday morning back in everyday life, that's not so much of it's not so much of a thing anymore. And it's happening quite naturally. We're adopting that role. We're becoming who we are spiritually in everyday life. It's not a taboo subject. Haven't you noticed the increase, particularly in the last 5 years, of this acceptance amongst all of us, because there are now so many of us interconnected with each other. And one of the reasons for this is there's now so many of us that have moved through this initial kind of destruction, soul isolation, and we're on our ascension pathway, and we're moving very, very rapidly into the next phase. Now, one of the most supportive things that you will do is meet somebody on the ascension pathway, be it physically or whether it is on social media, either individually or in a group, who is aligned with your soul mission. Okay, now there's two very strong types of connection that are available. There are people that are like-minded, who are aligned with your soul mission, and that can be a partner, it can be a friend, it can be somebody that you now call soul family who's come into your life, or it can be actually somebody, and this is one of the biggest blessings that is occurring at the moment, who is on your actually part of your soul group. Now, when I did the monadic invocation the other day, I was required, I got asked many times to explain what a monad is, what an oversoul is, and all of the incarnated personalities from the oversoul. And in a minute, I'm going to ask David to put a little picture up, which is actually, I'll show you where I got it from. And this is one of the books. I mean, Joshua David Stone, bless his heart, he passed in 2012, just as things were getting exciting. I've read pretty much all of his stuff, and I'm blessed enough for him to actually come and visit me on quite a regular basis, especially when I'm working in his soul form. And he brought through the information about monads. Okay, now when you talk about a monad, people kind of go, what's a monad? And so therefore I'm going to break it down for those of you that don't know and explain exactly what a monad is, what an oversoul is, and what all of the soul personalities are. So David, would you be kind enough to put the picture up, please, my friend? The one that I sent to you earlier. So there we go. Okay, so this is a part of, and I'm going there you can see the monad. Okay, so when I mention the word monad, the monad is a group. It's a group consciousness. Attached to the monad are 12 oversouls. And these are what these little blobby things that you can see around the outside. There's 12 of them. And attached to each of these 12 are 12 incarnated personalities from the oversoul. And you can say there's, there's a little arrow there going, this is you. Okay. So that is what a monad is. You are one of 144 souls who is incarnated with 11 other soul extensions from each of these oversouls attached to a monad. Now, serving on this planet are souls or incarnated personalities from myriads of monads and myriads of oversouls. And the most beautiful part about this is that we're all starting to connect with each other now. Okay, so this is why the number 144, yeah, like you say, it's a special number. 12 is a special number. So this is it, that you will all, every single one of you listening tonight will be one of 144 souls that are attached to a particular monad. But you will also be part of a group of 12 oversouls who have also incarnated from that monad. So it's almost like there's three tiers to this group, okay? And many of us, if you can take the picture away now, David, thank you. So basically, all of us here are now beginning to realize that we are bumping into, rubbing shoulders and working with people, not just from our monad, but from our oversoul group. So when this happens, these particular connections are very, very strong, and they're actually happening on purpose. Okay, we are being incarnated into the same spaces in the same times to work with people from our soul groups. Okay, but we're also making connections with other people from other soul groups. Okay, so there'll be other monads, hundreds and thousands of other monads, all sending down soul personalities to this planet. And we are all aligned with the same mission. Okay, so you will be working with people that have come here for the same reason. And this is what I refer to as soul family. We are all unified together on this planet with a similar mission, with a similar vibration. And if not, and exactly the same vibration, when we bump into each other, this is when the memories and the triggers start. This is when we start bringing through all of this old information, our memories, our mastery, and all of the stuff that we are bringing to the ascension table that we are embodying. And it's a process of remembering. One of the most powerful parts of making a soul family connection is the power and the ability that it has to help us to remember who we truly are. Because this period of limitation, this period of who am I, what am I doing, why am I having such a hard time, what on earth did I incarnate on this rough planet for, like what's going on? We know that we're here for a mission now, we know it, okay? Even if you're just fresh out of the traps and you're only just kind of waking up, or you've been here for a long time and now it's like, everything's just getting exciting, it's just getting going. For me, the last 2 years has been so rewarding to dissect. It has been so rewarding to witness what I've been waiting for all of these years, which is a global wake up. Okay. It hasn't been comfortable. It's not very comfortable at the moment. I'm not saying that it's going to get particularly comfortable in any foreseeable immediate future, because our old way of life is disintegrating. We can't take that old way from 3D into 5D. But what we can do is take the bits that work and make them vibrate at a higher frequency. And if we're all unified together with people of the same soul group and the same vibration, whether it be physically or whether it be spiritually or, online-y, do you know what I mean? It's we're in a fascinating period. Okay, so if you're listening to this at the moment, if you're feeling like everything's falling apart around you, if you're feeling isolated, it's not going to last for much longer. Okay, we're all getting on the case. And all of these little incarnated, I love the picture. I'm going to show it. I even printed my own one out. All of these are going pop, 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 and waking up all over the planet. Okay. And I think it was last year. It was last year, from the beginning of 2020 to the end of 2020, Archangel Metatron gave me the information that from the beginning to the end of the year, that 2 billion people on the planet would trigger in a wake-up process. A lot of them are still getting their heads around it. Probably haven't got a clue what's going on. You know what I mean? It's like, what's happening? What like, okay, can I red pill myself back to sleep again, please? But that's not going to occur. And I think you will also find that just by default, because you're listening to this tonight, you will be one of your oversoul group who is leading the way. Okay. So what I want to do tonight is move into a visualization. I've done a lot of talking. I've presented a lot of information, and I hope I've covered the points that I get asked a lot. Why, why do these people reject me? Why is my family falling apart? Why is my relationship disintegrating? It's because it is part, or was part, of a 3D structure that is no longer serving you. Okay. And although that might be painful to absorb or to really, really take through at the moment, just ride it out. Okay. Ride it out, hang in there, because we are all here on a unified mission on this planet. And if we haven't found each other yet, we will be doing shortly. Okay. So just very quietly and very just gently begin to bring yourself into a meditation state. And I know in the last workshop, I said I'd put up a picture of the Pleiadian blue rose, and it didn't happen. It should have come up with my picture. So I'm going to ask David if you'd be so kind as to put this beautiful blue rose up, and we're going to move into the visualization tonight. Okay. Thank you, Dave. And just last week I said, everybody tune into the blue rose, and the blue rose, it was supposed to happen with my screen, and it didn't do what it usually does. So I'm going to stop my video, just tune into David's beautiful creation. And yeah, I love it too. It's amazing. And just start to relax fully now, moving into working with each other as a group. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just do this consciously and do it deliberately. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth again. You're about to connect to your oversoul and your monadic presence and light up your highest connections with your spiritual family. Begin to focus, first of all, on your physical body and the energy centers within it. As you breathe in golden light into your physical self. On the in-breath, feel this golden light spreading throughout your physical body. And feel yourself relaxing even further. If there's any tension within your body, any tension within the muscles, just allow it to just loosen itself off. Just allow yourself to completely relax. Just be aware of any points of resistance or areas that feel particularly stressed or tight. And breathe directly into them. And the next, focus on your emotional body. And allow any stuff that doesn't belong to you to begin to gently flow away as you breathe into it. So breathing golden light into your emotional body. You are now releasing old, trapped emotions that were perhaps waiting to reveal themselves, or could simply be everyday worries about your life or your personal process. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Out through your mouth. And breathing in next into your mental body. And see your mental body turning a bright, radiant gold. Feel any new racing thoughts just becoming calm and still. Any 3D perceptions that you might have just beginning to slow down. Just feel your mind relaxing. And as you're doing this deep breathing now, breathe golden light into the magnificence of your spiritual fields. Your spiritual body extends sometimes for miles and miles around you. Just allow that golden light mixed with the beautiful blue of the Pleiadian rose just flow through your spiritual body, your fields. And now we're going to focus on the 15 ascension chakras to light them up and clear them individually, one by one. This will be necessary to make the highest and the purest connections. So first of all, relaxing in your golden and your blue light, focus upon the Earth Star chakra below the soles of your feet. Sense and feel it as a radiant ball, a radiant glowing silver ball that is allowing bright roots to flow into Mother Earth to ground you in. Ground yourself in. Solidly, firmly, and deeply. You might even feel a bit of buzzing from your Earth Star chakra below the soles of your feet. And at this point in time, ask yourself the question, am I fully grounded here on Earth? And am I fully committed to my soul mission? And just continue to breathe and relax. And fully grounded now, begin to tune into the bright, radiant platinum of your base chakra. As you do so, ask yourself the question, am I grounded into my spiritual authority? Am I my highest self? As you're focusing upon your base, feel it anchoring you into the power of your mighty I Am presence. And next, bring your attention to the light of your soft pink sacral chakra. Breathe deliberately into it. Take a deep breath in. Breathe into your sacral. And as you do so, just become aware of it. Take notice of any scars or blemishes that you may sense or feel may be present at the moment. These could be old wounds from relationships and traumas that you have buried under the surface, or you might be experiencing now. Or they may have been handed down to you from your parents or grandparents before them. Just breathe and relax. And at this point in time, ask yourself the question, am I myself, or am I the experiences of the people that came before me? Just relax now as your sacral lights up a beautiful bright pink and begins to expand. And bring your attention from your sacral to your navel chakra, which is a beautiful, bright, radiant orange. And place your hand upon it if you wish to. And with your hand upon your navel, feel it glowing. You can say these words out loud and with spiritual authority. I now activate the Atlantean navel gold print to connect me to my highest pathway, my highest mission, and my soul family. I now activate the Atlantean navel gold print to connect me to my highest pathway, my highest mission, and my soul family. And say it a third time. I now activate the Atlantean navel gold print to connect me to my highest pathway, my highest mission, and my soul family. And as you say these words for the third time, see a golden pulse of light flooding out from your navel that is beginning to connect you to members of your soul lineage. Some of them may be awake and ready, and others may still be asleep. Just be aware that this golden light is going to start waking them gently from their slumber. Now move your attention up to your solar plexus chakra and pause as you tune into the golden light from this powerful nexus of energy. As it lights up in response to your intention, ask yourself the question, am I free from fear? How do I respond to the two-way flow of energy between myself and other souls? And as the chakra glows a bright, radiant gold, just witness every single cord, attachment, and intrusion dropping away from you. Every cord, attachment, and intrusion. And take a deep breath in now. Breathe in peace. And exhale love. And now as you're breathing, notice how brightly your fifth dimensional heart chakra is shining. Breathe into your heart center. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just be aware that your heartbeat consciously pulses light outwards to touch the hearts of everyone and everything around you. Just take a few moments to witness this. Breathe into your heart again. And breathe out. And as you're breathing into your heart center and exhaling, ask yourself the question, am I living every second of my life in the sacred container of my heart? And now just be aware also that your higher heart exists between your heart chakra and your throat. Taking a few moments now to tune into it and witness it lighting up. And as you do, again, ask yourself a question. Am I attuned to the gifts of love from the highest cosmos? Are you? As you tune in, begin to feel yourself now surrounded by the gentle and beloved presence of Archangel Chamuel. He may present himself in an angelic form or just be a beautiful pink light. Just relax as Archangel Chamuel places the gentlest kiss upon your higher heart. And just be aware of every molecule within your body igniting with vibrant pink-white light. Just relax and receive this gift as it flows through your bodies and your fields. And thank Archangel Chamuel. And next, just very gently, as you're integrating that energy, place your right hand over your throat chakra. And as you do so, feel bright blue energy beginning to pulse and flow from it. Very easily and very gently move your hand over the area and sense or feel if there are any blockages or obstructions in your throat. Once you're tuned into your throat, they should reveal themselves very quickly. Ask yourself the question, do I voice my truth with integrity, honesty, and the energy of a divine warrior? As you ask this question, just allow the light of your throat to burn away any remaining obstructions, collars, or blockages. And they will fall away very quickly at this time. Now just gently place your hand now from your throat to the back of your neck. And this is just at the base of the skull, at the top of the spine, where your Ultima Major chakra is. And just feel the area, be aware of it. As As you tune into the Altar Major chakra, ask yourself the question, have I disconnected from the 3D matrix? Do I regard myself free in mind, body, and soul? Do you? And just take a few moments to allow any clearing in this beautiful diamond white chakra to take place. Now feel into the crystal green of your third eye. Again, ask yourself another question. Do I see clearly with the eyes of an ascended master? Do I sense and feel the world around me without interruption? Do I hear the words of those that speak from love's dimensions? Do I know unwaveringly what is the difference between truth and illusion? And just feel the light of your third eye clearing any obstructions to the multitude of senses that it provides for you. And just be aware now of your crown lighting up a crystalline golden yellow. Ask yourself, do I wear my crown of mastery with dignity, courage, and self-love? As you focus upon this chakra, feel the 1,000 petals opening on the top of your head as beautiful crystalline golden yellow light begins to flow out. And next, just above the top of your head, become aware of your causal chakra, which looks like your own personal moon. As you tune into it and light it up, ask yourself the question, am I open to the souls vibrating above the benchmark of polarity? I'll repeat that. Am I open to the souls vibrating above the benchmark of polarity? Now, as your causal opens and begins to shine very brightly, you will receive the opportunity for a unicorn blessing from the highest space available at this time. What is your highest request? Just think about this for a few moments. What is your highest request? And send this request through your causal to be received by the pure white beings of light that are eager and ready to work alongside you. Now move your attention up a little bit further and sense and feel your soul star chakra. It is 18 inches above the top of your crown. As you feel and sense into this beautiful magenta blue chakra, ask yourself, am I open to the return of my spiritual gifts and talents? Am I prepared for the responsibility that these gifts hold? Your soul star is now fully open, and the entrance to the halls of Amenti awaits you in your dream time. And 1 meter above the top of your head lies your stellar gateway chakra. As this golden orange chakra lights up, ask yourself, am I at one with the cosmic light? Am I ready to connect to my soul family? As you answer this question truthfully, you begin to see a beam of golden orange light beginning to extend now from your stellar gateway chakra. And it is moving up and up and up. And it continues until it connects to your solar junction chakra. This is a bright, multicolored diamond gold chakra high above you that connects you to the lights and the spiritual sons of the higher cosmos. Just take a few moments to allow your intention and your attention to travel up to this point. Just rest and relax and tune into this light. As it travels into the peace of space. And as you focus on the solar junction and the beautiful light that is flowing from it, just begin to notice that a larger diamond golden rainbow structure is forming just above it. It appears to be a small star surrounded by 11 other points of light that are all attached to it. This is your oversoul, and you are one of 12 souls that belong to this group. As you make this connection, you then see that there are 12 other oversouls all surrounding yours, each with 12 points of beautiful, dazzling light circling around them. There is an incredible flash of the purest, dazzling diamond light now, as your monadic presence begins to reveal itself in the center. It could remind you almost of a central sun in a solar system, as the soul personalities attached to the oversoul dance and orbit this incredible ball of conscious light. Take a few moments to sense and feel the power of this incredible connection. Really move into it. How could you ever be alone when you are a part of this? And now a resonant and gentle energy voice is now beginning to communicate with you. It is neither male nor female, but it has a unified and melodious quality that contains the knowledge of millions of incarnations. Just listen to the words. Beautiful child, take a moment of calm and listen. You are one of 144 souls in service from this particular monad, all around the universe. Some are on Earth with you now, and others serve around the cosmic realms in other spaces, times, and bodies. Look above and around you now. And just be aware now that the space above you is lit with other countless monadic lights and systems. Soul after soul attached to their monadic presences, but dancing the orbit of the stars as their consciousness serves elsewhere. Your monad speaks again. At the end of this incarnation, you will come back to us with all that you have learned and all that you have achieved. You will then choose your next mission once you have rested, but your current incarnation is incredibly important. Your job, if you wish to accept it, is to take the responsibility of leading the way with your incredible light. This will draw in other soul members and monadic groups so that they can assist and help you with your mission. Are you ready? Nod or say yes if you are. And just as you continue to bathe in the love and nurturing energy of your monadic presence, just begin to sense and see yourself surrounded by the lights of the other 143 souls in your group. One by one, they come to join you. Just slowly at first. And then the process begins to speed up. Some might stay as light, but others may begin to adopt a humanoid form. Those closest to you now wrap their arms around you in the warmest and the most loving embrace. Just really sense and feel this. And after a while, all of your light begins to unify. And a unified pulse wave of energy begins to move throughout your group together. Breathe and relax. And some of the souls from your monad begin to step back now. Take a moment to look at them and see if you recognize any of their faces. There might even be someone there that you know well, or that you feel that you know. And the gentle voice of your monad speaks to you again. Take this connection, light, and support with you back to your current incarnation. You are and never have been alone, and this connection will now bring you the incredible support that you so need and desire. Some may be working from the heavens, and others will be there to support you in physical, as well as other monads with a resonant soul mission. This will also refresh and reset your pre-life agreements so that you are fully now in harmony with your soul mission. So take a moment now to agree if you wish to balance your pre-life agreements to allow the new and refreshed to enter your life. Just take a few moments to tune into this and make your choice. And now with these words, your soul extensions begin to rise back up into the heavens. And feel yourself now glowing with the highest and the purest light. Whenever you wish to anchor your connection, say these words. I am the monad. I am the light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. I am the monad. I am the light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. I am the monad. I am the light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. And just very gently now, start bringing yourself back into your body. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, bring yourself back, back, back. Return your attention back to your Earth Star chakra below the soles of your feet. Ground yourself in and once again feel the roots flowing deep into Mother Earth. Ground in and unify. And just take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, open your eyes and smile. Okay. Everybody coming back? Back, back, back. Thank you, David. Just bring yourselves back into your bodies. Oh, thank you, everybody. Yes, some of you might have seen some familiar faces. Some of you might have made some new acquaintances, some very, very, well, not just acquaintances, some permanent friends. So thank you all. I think that's going to be very, very beneficial for all of us, all of you, soul family, every single one of you. So be prepared to move through these periods of change. Some of you might have been earlier on feeling like, you know, you've got people around you, but you still feel isolated. Don't worry. Everything will move forwards. Every vibration will reset to match your version of reality. So make sure that you connect to what you want to create in your life and do so with love. Okay? Just bring yourselves back. Make sure you're grounded in. Make sure you're grounded and you drink lots of water. That was a good clearing tonight as well. So your chakras should all be nice and shiny. Sending you all loads of love. Okay? Every single one of you around the world, whether you're tuning into this now live or whether you pick it up on a recording later on. It's been a real honor working with you all this evening and seeing all those lovely, shiny monads and oversouls and incarnated personalities, because we're all here for a mission. Sending you all lots of love, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.